Welcome back.
Huh?
Sorry it's so long.
We didn't even have time to complain that you were taking too long.
No, I don't believe that for a second. All right, make a motion to return to open session. Right? I have a second?
I'll second.
Desiree, second?
Littlefield?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
All right, time 6:35. Go ahead with the minutes.
During executive session, the board discussed the employment of principals for the 2023-2024 school year.
All right, thank you. All right, number 6, discussion of vote to approve or not to approve the rehiring of Keela Patterson and Lane Pruitt as the principals for the 23-24 school year. Go ahead with your recommendation, Bryce.
I would recommend that we rehire Keela Patterson and Lane Pruitt as principals for the 23 and 24 school year.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve Keela and Lane as principals for the 23-24. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Desiree, second. Judy?
Littlefield?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Number 7, principals report. Go ahead.
Thank you. On the 21st of January, our 5th and 6th grade academic team placed 4th at regional, so they're headed to state. I don't know the exact date of that yet, but we were proud of them for that. On January 27th, Willie Spears was here. I had never heard Willie Spears before, but it was such a fun experience for our kids. He talked to 3rd through 5th at the elementary, and you could hear a pin drop in there. I mean, they were engaged for an entire hour. He talked to them a lot about kindness and being courteous, and he was so entertaining. Like, it was a really fun day for them. On the 27th was also our 100th day of school, so we had a lot of celebrations doing things with the number 100. That's cool that day. Today, our kindergarten and first graders went to the Stephen Bite concert in Fairview, which was a nice little treat for them to get out of the building and do something different for the day, and I know they all had fun there, so. Other than that, we've just been keeping on, so.
And thank you as well. District basketball starts this week, Friday, at OBA in Enid. Lady Chiefs will play Woodland High School, which is out of Fairfax, at 6 o'clock Friday night, and the boys will take on OBA Friday at 7:30. So game times are 30 minutes earlier than normal. And they'll be that way for all playoffs this year. It's usually at 6:30 this year, at 6 and 7:30. It's win or go home, so if they win, the girls will play OBA on Saturday, and if the boys win, they'll play Woodland on Saturday. Next week, we will be a sub-site for the regional basketball tournament. So there will be 2 sessions games on Thursday at 1:30 and 3, and then at 6 and 7:30. So that's kind of, we haven't hosted a regional tournament in a while. We've hosted districts, but not regional, so that's pretty big. The Lady Chiefs were a Cherokee Strip Conference tournament runner-up. Abby Guffey and Carson Schombacher were named to the all-tournament team. The junior high Chiefs were 3rd in their conference tournament at Medford. The junior high Lady Chiefs were 4th in their conference tournament at Medford. Like she said, Willie Spears came. He came over here. We had him talk to 6th through 8th grade. I didn't get to sit in on that one. And then we had him talk to 9 through 12, all students. I got to sit on that one. He talked about making choices, which is really big for them guys. Is the choices they make now affect the rest of their lives. So, and then that afternoon we had him talk to 6th through 8 athletes, kids that play sports, and then the high school athletes. And he had a completely different message for that one. It was really, really good. Talked about being their best, believe, effort, sacrifice, and try. Yeah. So he delivered a great message to every group he spoke with, and he brought a lot of excitement and energy. The sophomore class, they attended Northwest Tech on January 31st for the sophomore tours. I think we have 44 go, and right now, and the next day we come back and see who wants to pre-enroll, and we had 25 that said they, this year's sophomores and juniors that want to go back, so that's a lot more than we thought, about 10 more than what we thought we would have, so that's really good. Today, FCCLA is at Regional Star Events in Bristow. They left at 5:30 this morning. I think they'll get back at 8 o'clock tonight. So Davin Booty and Hope Jordan both ran for offices. Davin Booty is on the national FFA ticket to represent the state of Oklahoma. He's one of 3 finalists on the ballot. So I believe they'll narrow it down to 2, and then when they go to nationals in June or July is when they'll decide that. And then Hope Jordan ran for an at-large bid to represent for a state office. So those are both very big things for them. Cherokee speech and debate is off to a great start. They went to Alvin, they've been to O'Keene. I think we already have several regional qualifiers. I can't tell you all the placings, but they've been doing very well. Cherokee FFA, as we talked, they got a new toy to play with. I went out there last Friday, and I actually got to watch them. They're still in the experimentation stage. They've got a notebook of where to set everything to get the angles they want. There's actually 2 different vendors. One's a big wheel, you do it manual for large, like bike bell rings and stuff, and then they have another one that's, I believe it's aired for square tubing, round tubing. You can make 90s, 45s, and then another one for flat iron. You can make 45s and flat iron and stuff. So it was pretty cool. They were having a lot of fun trying to figure it out. We've had 4 students apply for their state FFA degrees. Not digress, sorry about my spelling. 4 applied for the Northwest District Stock Show social media team. I believe that's in the spring when they go to stock shows. If they get on that team, then they will have access to the state's social media to post things. 2 have applied for the state FFA course. NOC interscholastic results, Ag Communications, these just came in today, so you can tell Tessa if you want to. She was 3rd high individual. She wasn't here. She was at FCCLA today, so Ms. Snyder said she doesn't even know yet. So, Ag Mechanics, the junior division, Cherokee was the 2nd high team, and Chase Phillips was the 3rd high individual, and Timothy Mass was the 4th high individual. Ag Mechanics for the senior division, Cherokee was also the 2nd high team, and Brent Fells was the 5th high individual. For Vet Science, Cherokee was the 2nd high team, and Hannah Haywood was actually the high individual in that category. We had students, I believe we had 11 students show pigs at the Alva Regional Pig Show. Waylon Utterback was the 1st spot and reserve champion. May Nevels was the 1st AOB and champion. Davin Booty was 3rd with the Duroc and 3rd with the spot. And then the other day they went to Stamp Out Starvation on February 3rd and packaged 5,280 meals. So we've been pretty busy, and it's just going to get busier. So I'm sure I'll let something out.
Is that like indicative of a mile? Or
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
It is, I just realized that. So, maybe it is. Stand out, starving.
1 mile at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Number 8, superintendent's report.
They pretty much covered all the fun stuff, so I really don't have a whole lot to go over this month. We will be going next week. Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Pruitt, myself, Mrs. Jordan, and Mr. Claflin to Omaha, Nebraska to attend the Capturing a Kid's Heart training for 2 days, so kind of excited to get up there and listen to that and learn more about that program. That's something that, again, we're looking at doing for our whole staff this summer. And so that's going to give us kind of a first-hand look at what that all entails and what that can do for us and for the kids. You know, the legislative session has begun, and there's several bills that could affect education that we will be keeping an eye on, and so over the next few months and weeks, we'll be looking at those and trying to get updates and keep everybody kind of in a loop there as much as possible. I've got one day later in February that I do plan to go down and spend the day at the Capitol, and hopefully we'll get to meet with Representative Newton and Senator Peterson and just kind of visit with them and express our concerns and about some of this legislation. There's a lot of bills out there right now that are, you know, they're just shell bills, and so it's just a title. And some of them, I think, get a lot of attention, especially for education, and can kind of, you know, get you wound up a little bit. But there's a lot of things that have to happen for those things to go through. What that will look like in the end, not really sure, but there And like I said, I'll update you as we go and give out information that we can. Been trying to keep, our staff updated, what legislation is out there, encourage them to reach out to our representatives and senators and voice their opinions on those things as well, and just kind of advocate for our school and our kids a little bit more there. Not really a lot of good news as far as tax protests go. We did kind of resolve somewhat of an issue with Sand Ridge. We had some money that thought we were gonna get this year. The total amount was about $74,000 for our district, that's withheld from this year's taxes. That's not all general fund money. Some of it's sinking funds, some of it's building. I mean, it gets spread out over those different funds. But I think the way that they're gonna resolve that is just to withhold that money this year, and then that would go back to Sand Ridge. There's, I still think, a little possibility that it could be set up in a payment plan, but we don't like that news. Obviously, that's not good news. That's not what we want. But we're in a much better position to handle that. So it's not an emergency or anything. It's just, I don't like that it's happening. But we'll be fine and figure out how to move on with that. Nothing really else. We are going to, as part of our kind of overall culture and climate plan for the district, we will be sending out some climate surveys. We will give those out to our students. About 30 questions, just kind of an overall view of how they feel school. Even the elementary kids, and it's pretty simple. It's just, do you like it? Do you not like it? Can it be better? Lots of different questions. We get those from State Department, and examples there that we can use for the kids. We'll send those to our staff also, and we'll push those out through our app and website, give parents an opportunity to respond to those as well, like I said, here in a couple weeks. And that's just gonna, give us some data and some information that we can look at, kind of get a feel on maybe some strengths and weaknesses and where we need to start with some stuff. So, sometimes you look at that and think, don't want to hear about this or that. Those are the things we need to hear about. We need to know how everybody's feeling about some things. So, kind of anxious and excited to see what we get from that and what we'll be able to do with that information once we get it. So, other than that, I really don't have a lot. Like I said, they've touched on most of it. It's been busy. It's going to stay busy. And one day at a time.
Number 10, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Oh, sorry, new business. No new business, okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Sorry, I get excited. Have a second? Have a second. Judy?
Littlefield?
Yes.
Goodwin?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Gibson?
Yes.
Collins?
6:48.
It's like getting pulled over like 2 miles from the house.
Right.
But,
I know.